In this training, I'm going to show you how you can use a secret podcast to help you generate high quality leads. And then those leads can be brought into your evergreen funnel so you can make weekly sales. I'm Nicole Culver and I'm the founder of Elevated. And I'm so excited to share this training for you because it's truly the first time I'm pulling back the curtain on our secret podcast and how it has helped us generate multi six figures in sales at the time I am recording. So I'm going to be sharing with you how a secret podcast can really help you generate evergreen sales. What I want you to know about this is the way that we do evergreen is really different than how most people do evergreen. So I'm going to walk you through the system and I'm going to show you how the secret podcast can really serve to have those prospects come in who are high quality. We call them rich niche leads. People who are really looking to come in and who are ready to buy, who are ready to solve their problem. So let's dig into this. So March 2023, just to give you some background, just to give you some context, I had this idea to launch a secret podcast. Now, my idea came from people DMing me asking, where do I start on your podcast? I have a podcast called The Shift Show. Now, this podcast has well over 400 episodes at this point. I've been doing the podcast since I think 2018. It's a lot of episodes. So I wanted to really give people a home base that they could start and finish in kind of like a bingeable manner. So the secret podcast really became an automated way to bring in those high quality leads, people who are looking to solve a specific problem every single day. And what we found, the people who are coming into this secret podcast, there of course is a portion of them, a percent of them who are ready to buy right now. So it became a crazy idea. If you have been on my email list for a while, then you know I sent out an email. It was the simplest email that said, I'm thinking about starting a secret podcast about how I have a the behind the scenes of a 6-figure a month evergreen funnel. Would you be interested? And immediately within 24 hours, we had hundreds of responses. And I spent the next 3 days creating it. So this is the behind the scenes of that. So what was my goal? My goal was I work with my husband. We have an amazing team. We're always talking about how do we make the buying period shorter for the people who are ready to buy right now. There's a lot of beliefs around the internet that people need to go through 2 launches, 3 launches, 4 launches before they're ready to buy. Now, the problem with this is some people only launch once a year. So you're telling me that it's going to take 4 years before people are ready to buy? I don't know about you, but just as a buyer, I don't have 4 years to solve my problem. So what we noticed was the secret podcast actually helped speed up that buying process because it brought them in, it brought them through our frameworks, our belief system, our entire methodology, and helped people come over faster. So it really decreased that buying time. So when we taught this and when we brought our evergreen, our 7 to 7 system to one of our clients, he was amazed at how our entire system helped speed up the buying process. And he actually ended up having his best launch ever. Now, I will put the link to the secret podcast, which is, you can see it here, the Evergreen Experience. You may or may not have listened to it. I would definitely go listen to it because if you're thinking about creating an evergreen funnel, this is a great place to start. So again, my goal really was to speed up the buying process because again, I don't have 4 years to wait to help people. And as a buyer, I don't have 4 years to wait, 2 years to wait, even a year to wait to solve my problem. So what is the secret podcast? The secret podcast is a bingeable series. It has a start to finish and it brings people from where they are right now, their current beliefs, which is something usually like it's not the right time. My audience is too small. I have to launch first, to the beliefs they need to have in order to say yes to your offer. So when you're creating a secret podcast, you want to craft it so it takes people through their belief ladder. So it goes from wherever they are. And by the end, they're saying, oh my gosh, yes, I need this. So if you know you would like to map out your high quality lead system so you can really decrease that buying time and get people to go from lead to sale faster with evergreen sales, then I want you to click the link around this and you can apply to see if you are a good fit to have a call with our scale specialist. These calls are truly a lot of fun. We go through your lead system. We really look for your biggest opportunity to decrease that buying time. So if you know that you want to do this, then just apply. You can pause the video and then come back. Okay, so this is current reality. I always like to start with what's possible. And truly, what is possible is speeding up that buying time for the right person, for that rich niche person, having high quality leads. So, you know, without a shadow of a doubt, you are attracting the people who are ready to buy, who want to solve their problem, and getting them by the end to say, yes, I'm ready right now, and seeing that you are the solution. Your program is the solution. Like, that is my intent with the Secret Podcast. So if right now your current situation is something like your show up rates are declining, even no matter what you try, like maybe you have a great show up sequence, maybe you feel like you're doing more and more to get them live, but your show up rates are declining. If you're hearing that you have lots of interest, you're hearing people say, I need this, and then they seem to almost be like ghosting you. If you are sitting here and you're like, I am so grateful for the people who've signed up, but where is everyone else? I feel like I should have more for now, by now. If you're not sure you're attracting your ideal client and you know you really got to do some tweaking on your ads and your messaging, then the Secret Podcast is an amazing way to start this, because immediately you will see that this is the key to increasing those conversions. Basically, this will help your evergreen funnel work better. This is how you create the ecosystem, the multi-chance selling system, which I'll talk about in a little bit. This also, you probably know, I don't have to tell you that people are busy. I have 3 kids. We're busy. With the Secret Podcast, people can listen and consume on their own time, so they don't have to show up on someone else's schedule. That's a big deal. It allows you to increase the trust factor quicker, and again, decrease that buying time. It allows you to attract more of your ideal client, more of them. And it really helps you get your messaging on point and take people through the beliefs from where they started to what they need to believe before they can buy. And a little bit about me before we get into the entire framework and process. This was me in 2011, right? Like days before I actually quit my 4th grade special ed teaching job, which I had done in the city. And I was tired. If you've ever had the Sunday scaries, if you've ever dreaded the week, then you probably can relate to my story, which is where I was as a really sad, sad teacher, counting down the days and the nights and the weekends, waiting for weekends and vacations. And I was done with that life. So I quit to start a food business. Fast forward a lot of years later, we got our start in online marketing from my food business, which is right here. We started selling online. We started growing our email list. We started running like ads on Facebook. Really amazing. But in the past over decade plus, we have learned what it takes to sell every single week. And we have taken all of our knowledge and put it into what we teach today. I work with my husband. We have an amazing team. This was our event, one of our events in Sedona. And now I am passionate about helping founders create wildly profitable businesses with the right strategies, tools, and mindset. Because I believe literally every person, every human should be able to have wildly profitable businesses and make the money they want to make so they can live the life they want to live. I'm really passionate about that. I work with my husband And I have 3 beautiful daughters, and I love spending time with them. So we're really strict about our boundaries and really making every single thing we do work for us. So let's talk some results. We have made, at the time I'm recording, multiple 6 figures in sales at the time I'm recording this. I know for sure my secret podcast is bringing in our rich niche leads every single day. I'm certain of it. And I know that the secret podcast speeds up the buying process and builds trust very, very quickly. So I want to know for a second, what would be possible for you? What would be possible for you if you were certain that you could bring in your ideal clients, your ideal prospects, if you knew they were going through your content and you knew you were attracting people ready to buy and you saw those sales coming in every single week? I want you to take a second to dream. What would be possible for you, and how much simpler could your business be? I just got a message inside our Elevate Facebook group from a client who got 3 sales in one day. And she was just saying how things feel so much simpler now. So it doesn't have to be complicated. You can bring in those ideal leads every single day. And this is all part of our 7-to-7 evergreen system. This is how we get leads every day and sales every week. So let's walk you through the process, and I will show you how the secret podcast fits into that. And remember, if you know you would like to map this out, just go apply, fill out the application now. Okay, so now we're going to walk you through our entire 7-to-7 framework, and you're going to be able to see how the secret podcast is part of our ecosystem to really speed up that buying process and help you get sales in every day. So I already told you that I work with my husband. This is Dan, and he's going to walk you through, and we're going to get started so you can see how this all works.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've talked about goals already, but when we start with our evergreen system, our 7-to-7 system, we always start with our goal and we put that in the middle. So for this example, I think we'll just use $100,000 a month. So our goal is to get you $100,000 a month and then beyond. And then we also want to talk about how often you're working. So we like to say that our goal is to work 10 hours per week. So again, these are our goals here. And both of these are important to keep in mind. We want to have an income goal and also how often we're working goal.
So if you want to really solidify this, then go through and draw this triangle with us. If you have watched any of our trainings before, then you may have seen us go through this triangle. But as we all evolve and businesses evolve, we're continually working on our framework and updating them. So this is the most updated version of the 7-to-7 formula. And you'll see if you have watched any from earlier in the year or even over a year ago that we are continually making changes. So our formula continues to change to what is working the best now. And we make these changes based on not only ourselves and our business and spending a lot of money on ads and getting organic traffic, but this is also based on what is working for our clients right now. So if you notice any changes, that's because we have evolved and we have studied the data every single week since we started working on this years ago. And this is the latest and best version of this, which is why we're doing this again, basically.
Yeah. And so you'll see some of those optimizations in here. And then we're also going to talk through how we help our clients optimize this system for them every single week. So the first place that we start with all of our clients when we're trying to get to $100,000 months and beyond is starting with our leads.
And the reason why we do this is because most people, when they're coming to us, they're looking to make a change and things are going pretty good in business. And they want them to not only feel better, they want them to be more aligned, but they just want things to be more simpler. So, like I showed you on a previous slide in this training, if you are noticing that you're not 100% sure if the people coming in are those rich niche leads, are those ideal leads, are those ideal prospects, if you're not really sure that you're attracting the right people, if your audience is a little bit quiet at this point, if your show up rate to your sales events, your launches, your evergreen funnel, if that's been declining, then focusing on this side, if that's been your frustration, then really pay attention to this side.
Yeah. And so when we work with our clients, we're going to work on three things to improve the quality of your leads. And so the first thing that we work on is your money magnet words. And most or all of our clients are experts in their industries. They can get their clients amazing results. And the curse of being an expert is you almost know too much. You speak to your audience as if they are colleagues instead of second graders. So what we first need to work on is figuring out what are the words that your audience is using to describe the problems they're having and the results they want. These are your money magnet words. These are the words that your audience is using to describe their problems. Because if you're using your words, sometimes they just don't connect and your audience doesn't hear them the same way you're saying them. And so they're saying, oh, that person must not be talking to me. I don't describe my problem that way. I don't describe the result I want that way. So they must not be talking to me. So this is the first step. And with our leads, one of the biggest conversion metrics that we're measuring is, can we get our audience to talk back to us? So when we start using our money magnet words, we should start getting more engagement. That's comments, likes, and responses, DMs, like, oh my gosh, I need this, or this was so good, or this was so interesting, or this made me think of X.
And if you are at the place where you know your messaging needs to be tweaked, if you know your ads need to be tweaked, then you really need to understand, what are those money magnet words? What are the money magnet words that your people are saying? Not the words that your colleagues, that your friends, that the people who are doing somewhat similar to you are saying, but the words that they are saying. And when you really understand this, you use your money magnet words throughout your funnel, from your organic content, from your ads, from your landing pages, all the way down to the sale. So your people really know and trust you, and they know that you see them and understand them.
Yeah. So once we have those money magnet words mapped out and we have some good ideas, we want to make sure that we're speaking to our rich niche. Now, I think this is honestly one of the most important pieces of our system, is talking to the right audience. When we have looked at the online marketing landscape, we estimate about 80%, maybe even 90% of the content out there is convincing their audience to do something, convincing them to take action, convincing them to buy. We really want to speak to our rich niche of those people who are already looking for a solution, already actively looking to solve their problem, and are ready to buy quickly. These people not only will buy quickly, but they'll take action quickly. Because the problem is that when you convince someone to buy from you, you also have to convince them to take action. And that's where we see a lot of people struggle with getting their clients results, because their clients refuse to take any action. So we have an entire training on this. So if you want this training, just simply DM us Rich Niche and we will send it to you. It's about a 20-minute deep dive into our Rich Niche system and how we develop this. So if you want to go deeper, just let us know about that.
And the rich niche is huge in playing into the secret podcast, because again, if you're one of those people who are like, I am not sure if I have the right leads coming in, when you create your secret podcast, you create it for your rich niche. You create it so you are not doubting the leads that are coming in every single day. So you know 100%. These people are looking to solve a problem, and that's what my secret podcast is about.
Now, once we're using our money magnet words and we're speaking to our rich niche, we're going to be getting some conversations. We're going to get people to talk back to us. And from there, our job is to take our conversations and turn them into cash. So the last piece of this is cash conversations. And this is yet another thing that I think makes us stand out, is that we're talking about leads, but we're already talking about sales, because the best way to know that you're getting qualified leads is getting sales. And if you're not getting sales, you probably don't have qualified leads. So these cash conversations are extremely important. One, for data, just to get data in the door and saying, yes, I can get people talking back and buying. And then two, cash flow. It's really important to have that lifeblood of your business of sales coming in every single week. Okay, so from here, we're going to move on to the next portion of the system, and this is conversions.
And the conversion side is important because, again, what I talked about at the beginning of this video is people saying it's taking 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 launches before people are ready to buy. And when that is over a 1 to 2 to 3 year period, you're losing people who are going somewhere else to solve their problem. No one is waiting that long if their problem is a burning problem. So you're losing people when you don't have the right system set up, when you don't have the right leads and sales system set up. You're literally losing people every single week that are going to someone else who maybe is not serving them as well as you could, because you don't have the right system set up. And that's why the Secret Podcast is so amazing, because it will decrease that buying time. And what used to take maybe 4 launches, 3 launches, is now taking a matter of weeks or days instead of years.
Yeah. And the other thing I should mention is when we're on the left side over here with the leads, this is really, if you have even 100 people to talk to, we can get some people talking back to you and you get those sales in the door. It really is about learning, how do we get those leads coming in and how do we get some sales? The conversion side of this is really, how do we turn this into a scalable selling system? And the system means that we know every week we can have dependability and predictability and consistency. So we can know when we take this action, we are going to get this result. So this is our scalable selling system. And this allows us to get sales every single week. And if we do, we can scale it up and go to 2 or 5 or whatever, 10 sales. We even have Megan and Laura in the program who are trying to get 5 sales a day now. But if you can get, if you don't get one, it's also that metric of like, okay, something is not working. We need to make some adjustments. And the other piece of this is we also need to start worrying about time. We need a scalable selling system because we need to start investing less time and getting more sales. So this is really where we start to also focus on time and figure out how can we actually scale down to selling about an hour a week and hitting our sales numbers that we're trying to hit. Now, the next piece of this is where it comes in with the Secret Podcast. And the point of our Secret Podcast, the reason why we have it on the conversion side, is what we have figured out is we need to understand what the beliefs our buyers need to have. We also need to understand what are the current beliefs our audience has. And our Secret Podcast allows us to create a bingeable piece of content that allows our leads to go through and learn about our program, our system. So it changes their beliefs. It changes what they're believing as true so that they can be more prepared to buy. So this gets us more buyers, but it also accelerates the buying process. So when we have a bingeable piece of content like this that takes people from not believing the system can work for them to actually believing and actually excited to sign up with us, this is an extremely important event for our system.
And the Secret Podcast, it is really important that you get your messaging right. And inside the 7 to 7, we work with you to help you fine tune that messaging, tweak that messaging, so you really understand where is your audience right now and where do we need to bring them. So saying yes is the next logical step for the people who are right fits inside your program. We're never trying to get 100% of the world to say yes. We're trying to get the people who are the best fit and right for your program to say yes. So that's what the Secret Podcast does. And when you nail your messaging with the Secret Podcast, you are certain you see those high quality leads coming in every single day, and you see the sales coming in every week. And I think more importantly, you're not questioning, am I doing the right thing anymore? Am I attracting the right people?
Yeah. And the last piece of our conversion puzzle is our multiple chance selling system.
This is the thing that really got me when we finally stopped launching. It got me out of that high pressure stress that I was in so often, because the launch cycle that we were in just felt like it was so much pressure that I only had one shot to get it in, that I had to get everything right the first time, and if I didn't, then we had to wait months and months and months to sell again. And that's why we developed the multiple chance selling system, because one, launching felt like way too much pressure to me. And now when you do the multiple chance selling system, you see the sales coming in every single week. And more importantly, if you choose to launch later, it's icing on the cake and it's with less pressure.
Yeah. And so these two sides of the triangle are really focused on getting you more leads and turning more those leads into sales. The next problem we run into is that people are you're getting more sales in. So we need to figure out how to scale your service so you can continue to deliver great results in less time.
And this is something that's really important to us, because when you have the multiple chance selling system, obviously it's better for you because it's low pressure, but it's also better for your prospects because they also have more than one chance to actually say yes. And then when we get down to scalable service, this is the thing. It's not just all about the money for us. It's about getting and being able to deliver results at scale.
Yeah. And the first piece of our scalable service puzzle is our tiny promise timeline. And when most people come to us, they are either launching or they're doing some type of deadline funnel with their evergreen funnel, but they basically have a clear start and stop to the delivery of their program. And what we need, and when you do that, you're actually forcing your clients to work on your schedule. We are starting October 1st because it's the best time for me. I'm starting October 15th because it's the best time for me. And your clients have to adapt to not only the start date, but the progression through the program. You need to finish this module week 1, that module week 2. It is a lot of pressure for your clients. The tiny promise timeline actually allows us to flip this, and we can adjust to our client schedule. So they can jump in now and start. And instead of going based on dates, we go based on milestones. And the tiny promise timeline allows us to set up mini milestones that add together, that when we complete it, we get to that end result. So I'm just going to draw this for 1 second because I do think it's helpful. It's basically just like a triangle on its side. And each one of these lines is a little milestone that's a tiny promise. And when these tiny promises add together, we can build trust with our clients. They can trust us more because they're taking small steps and they're getting results every step, and we're showing them that. So they're more willing to invest more time, more effort with us so they can get to that end result that we want them to get to.
And also equally important is that they have trust with us, but that they have trust with themselves too, because a lot of your people have tried a lot of things and they have tried and failed, or they wouldn't be your ideal prospect, right? So the tiny promise timeline shows them, yeah, I trust you, but I also trust myself. And it also allows allows them to have the motivation to keep going. And we all know that tiny steps over time and up to a big result. And that's what the tiny promise delivers. And with our clients, when they see the tiny promise timeline of within 24 to 48 hours, we're going to have your current audience talking back to you. And within 7 to 14 days, you're going to get your first sale. And we make those promises because of the data we've collected from our past clients. And I know the promise thing gets hung up, but the promise, it's a promise if you do the steps that your promise is to the process. Your promise is to the process. I'm going to give you the steps to have your audience talk back to you within 24 to 48 hours. So when you have the tiny promise timeline mapped out, you will see that your clients start getting better results and they start feeling better about themselves.
Yeah. And that leads us to step 2, which are results. And we measure a lot of data. We measure a lot of data with our leads and our sales. But I think one of the things that we pride ourselves in the most is the results and the data we collect from our existing clients. How are they doing? Where are they doing really well? Where could they use some additional support? And these results are extremely important because when you are scaling your service, you need to be more proactive. You cannot be reactive. So we need to be having a system that we can collect information on our clients on where they are in the process. What have they completed? What have they not completed? Where do they feel stuck or confused? Where do they feel excited? So that we can continue to make the program better. And when we are being proactive, we can make decisions on how we want to make the program better. We can do more one-to-one calls, more group calls, revising trainings, providing PDFs, providing additional scripts, whatever we need to do, we can be proactive about it and make the plan so that we're not always putting out fires. And the other advantage is as you get your clients more results, it leads to my other two favorite R words, which are more renewals and more referrals. And I think this is one of the secret things that most people are not talking about is if you truly want to double the profitability, if you truly, the easiest way to double your income is to get your existing clients to work with you longer and get your existing clients to talk about you in a positive way that gets you more referrals. And so that is usually the simplest way to get you more sales and more profit. And it's something that people don't pay enough attention to because usually most people are almost afraid to talk to their existing clients because they don't know the results they're getting or not getting and don't know why. So when we start measuring results and we can start being proactive, we get better results with our clients, we get more renewals, more referrals, which is just going to make this entire system even more powerful.
And when you have all three of this, we start with the lead side, then we go to the sales side, and later on, we move to the scalable service side because you really need all three of these dialed in. The Secret Podcast is an awesome place to really start generating those high quality leads. And we're really excited, honestly, about the results our clients are getting and how this all works together. So if you want to figure out how we can help you map this out, if you would like to map this out for yourself, apply, click the link around the button and you can apply and we will see if you're a right fit to do a call with our skill specialist. Anything
Awesome.
else you want to add?
Yeah, if you have any questions or if you want to just share a takeaway, we'd really love to hear from you and just shoot us a DM on Nicole's Instagram at Nicole Culver and we'll chat through it.
And remember, Secret Podcast is a amazing way to be able to reduce buying time, to bring in those high quality leads, and then lead those to get sales every single week. All right. Thanks for watching.